rejected. Too small, too frail, years wasted. This is the story of how a kid who was inches away from selling drugs became one of the greatest football players on the planet. In the heart of Porto Alegre's Restinga favela, where hope fights a daily battle against survival, a young boy named Raphinha dreamed bigger than his circumstances. In a single bedroom, shared with his entire family, he learned his first lesson. Sometimes the biggest dreams grow in the smallest spaces. The streets here had their own gravity, pulling young talents into darkness. While friends vanished into the world of quick money and crime, Raphinha's family formed an unbreakable shield around him. It was thanks to them, he recalls, voice thick with emotion, that I never dropped out of school and ignored the wrong path. They gave me strength when everything around us screamed, "Give up!" Every sunrise brought the same choice: follow his friends into the shadows or chase an uncertain dream of football. Some of those friends, he remembers, eyes distant, were 10 times better than me. Their talent now lost to the unforgiving streets, their stories serving as silent warnings. But fate had different plans. As a kid, Raphinha found himself at Ronaldinho's birthday party, the Brazilian king. That day, he realized things can be different. In the dust and heat of Várzea tournaments, where bare feet danced on clay pitches and danger lurked in every corner, Raphinha built his future one touch at a time. Some days he'd finish training without money for food, pride swallowed as he begged strangers for help. Some called me a bum straight out, he says, a slight smile now softening the memory, but hunger couldn't stop me, nothing could. This isn't just another story of escape from the favelas. This is Raphinha, the boy who stared down poverty's demons and refused to blink. While others became statistics, he became unstoppable. The streets of Restinga didn't claim him, they created him and fueled his dream. Some dreams demand more than just talent. They demand courage to step into places where even hope feels dangerous. Welcome to Várzea football, Brazil's gladiator arena for the fearless. No nets, just posts. No uniforms, just bare skin against the scorching sun. These moments made me stronger, Raphinha reflects. This was Raphinha's proving ground. The air here was thick, with more than just clay dust. Intimidation lurked in every corner. Hostile crowds waiting by changing rooms. The distant crack of gunfire piercing through matchday chaos. But for a boy from Restinga, with fire in his feet and hunger in his heart, this wasn't just football. Each touch, each move, each game was an audition for a different life. Sometimes destiny needs a guide. For Raphinha, that guide was a legend of the game, Deco. In the youth fields of Sao Paulo, where thousands of young dreamers chase their future, one pair of eyes saw what others missed. Deco, the Portuguese maestro, watched as Raphinha danced with the ball, recognizing a familiar hunger in the young Brazilian's play. February 2016. A one-way ticket to Portugal. From the dusty pitches of Várzea to the pristine fields of Vitória de Guimarães, Raphinha's European story was about to begin. What started as a gamble quickly became a revelation. The boy from Restinga wasn't just surviving in European football, he was thriving. By 2018, bigger stages called. Sporting CP, one of Portugal's giants, had seen enough. The favela boy was now playing under the bright lights of one of Europe's historic clubs. One man's belief had opened the door, Raphinha's talent did the rest. October 2020. As Leeds United returned to the Premier League after 16 years, they needed something special. They found it in a Brazilian winger worth £17 million. From his very first touches you could see it. This wasn't just another signing, this was lightning in a bottle. The Premier League was about to meet Raphinha. It took just weeks for him to set Elland Road alight. His first goal came against Everton, a moment that announced the boy from Restinga had arrived in English football. What followed was pure magic. Every touch, every dribble, every goal told the same story. Raphinha was playing football like it was still on those dusty Várzea pitches, raw, fearless, free. When Leeds needed him most, he delivered. His nerve-steady penalty against Brentford kept the club in the Premier League. 11 goals in a season, but more than that, he'd given Leeds fans something they craved, a hero who played with their heart. The favela boy had conquered English football, and bigger stages were calling. 55 million euros, the price of a dream. July 2022. Raphinha stands in Camp Nou, Barcelona jersey on his shoulders. "It's a dream come true," he says, eyes gleaming. But dreams can be cruel sometimes. Picture this: you're playing for the team you've dreamed about since you were a kid, but under Xavi's reign, it's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. Your creative flair, your explosive style, the very things that made you special, now clash with a system built on strict positional play. While you're yearning to dance with the ball, to create magic, Xavi's playbook demands robotic precision. The early substitutions pile up. The bench becomes your second home. Every touch, every missed chance echoes with those 55 million reasons why you should be better, why you should just conform. The headlines were ruthless. Barcelona's expensive mistake? Saudi money came calling. Premier League teams circled like sharks. Even Raphinha himself admitted, "I thought about leaving Barcelona." The dream was crumbling. But when everyone said quit, Raphinha said, "Watch me." While the world was writing him off, he was in the training ground, grinding. When fans were losing faith, he was finding his. Because sometimes the true measure of a player isn't in how they celebrate success. It's in how they handle the moments when that success feels impossible. So picture this: a player on the brink, bench time after bench time, substitutions that came way too early. That was Raphinha's reality at Barcelona, until one man changed everything. Enter Hansi Flick. When everyone was whispering about transfers, when the rumor mill was churning out stories faster than a Spanish news ticker, Flick didn't just keep Raphinha, he handed him the captain's armband. Talk about a plot twist. But here's where it gets interesting. Flick wasn't just making a statement, he was cooking up something special, something that would turn Raphinha from a question mark into an exclamation point. Gone were the days of being stuck to the sideline like gum on a shoe. Flick had other plans. He planted Raphinha right behind the goal-hungry Lewandowski, like a spider in the center of its web. Left, right, center, suddenly, Raphinha was everywhere and nowhere. A ghost that defenders couldn't catch. Think of it like this: if Barcelona's attack was a chessboard, Raphinha became the queen, free to move in any direction, striking when least expected. Those diagonal runs, like lightning bolts splitting defenses. That link-up play, smooth as honey. And then, August 31st, 2024. Mark that date down, folks. Real Valladolid came to town, probably thinking it was just another day at the office. Boy, were they wrong. Raphinha didn't just score, he scored 3 times. Hat-trick. Bang. Bang. Ugh. In a 7-0 demolition that had the Camp Nou shaking to its foundations. And that match, it was just the beginning. Bayern Munich, bang, bang, bang. 3 days later, he annihilated Real Madrid in the El Clasico with a goal and an assist, taking the game on his shoulders. History in the making. Do you remember he fought for minutes? Now he is the maestro of Barcelona's attack. That's what happens when you pair raw talent with a coach who knows exactly how to use it. Flick didn't just give Raphinha playing time, he gave him wings. This isn't just a comeback story. This is what happens when trust meets talent, when strategy meets skill. This is Raphinha 2.0, and Barcelona's opponents better take notice. But here's where things get really interesting. While the world was watching Raphinha transform under Flick, something bigger was cooking. Something that could put him in the history books, alongside legends like Ronaldinho, Messi and Cruyff. Let's talk numbers, because these aren't just statistics, they're warning shots to the football world. 22 goals, 10 assists, 30 matches. Read that again. That's not just good, that's knocking on the Ballon d'Or's door. But what makes a Ballon d'Or winner? Is it just numbers on a sheet? Football fans around the globe will tell you about something else. They'll tell you about the kid from Brazil who became a leader. Watch him during training, while young guns like Gavi, who just pledged his future to Barca until 2030, are finding their feet. There's Raphinha, guiding, teaching, leading. He's not just playing the game, he's crafting Barcelona's next generation. You can see it in the way Pedri's eyes light up when he talks about training, the way Flick smiles when Raphinha's name comes up in press conferences. This isn't just about one player anymore. It's about a legacy in the making. The Ballon d'Or? It's not just a dream anymore, it's a target. With every match, every goal, every masterclass performance, Raphinha isn't just playing football, he's writing his name in golden letters. From the streets of Porto Alegre to the bright lights of Camp Nou, and now possibly to the biggest individual prize in football. But here's the scary part for defenders across Europe. Raphinha's story, are you ready, is just getting started. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the future of football. While Raphinha leads the charge, behind him stands an army of wonder kids that's making Europe's giants shake in their boots. Picture this. A 16-year-old kid steps onto Camp Nou's hallowed turf. 50 appearances later, Lamine Yamal isn't just breaking records, he's shattering them. Youngest La Liga scorer ever, Golden Boy winner. And trust me, the way this kid moves with the ball, it's like watching lightning dance. But that's just the beginning. Meet Barcelona's teenage dream team, Gavi and Pedri, 20 and 21 years old. Contract extensions until 2030. Why so long? Because these aren't just players, they're the heartbeat of Barcelona's future. Gavi, pure fire in midfield. Came back from a career-threatening injury like a phoenix rising. Pedri, the kid makes football look like a video game on easy mode. Together, they're rewriting the midfield playbook. And you thought the youth factory was done? Enter Pau Kubasi. 17 years old, playing centre-back like he's been doing it for decades. Remember Piqué? Barcelona's found their next defensive mastermind. This isn't just a team anymore, it's a revolution. A golden generation rising from La Masia's halls. And with Raphinha leading these young guns, the rest of Europe better watch their backs. Because while some teams buy their future, Barcelona, they're building their empire from the ground up. And this story? It's just getting started. So here we are, a Brazilian winger transformed into a leader, a coach who saw the diamond in the rough, and a generation of wonder kids ready to set the world on fire. But maybe the most fascinating part of this story isn't just about Raphinha or Barcelona. It's about how one change, one perfect match between player and coach can rewrite not just a career, but the future of an entire club. Which brings us to the real question. Are we watching the birth of Barcelona's next golden era? Or, better yet, could this new Barcelona, led by Raphinha and powered by La Masia's finest, actually surpass the legendary teams of the past? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious to hear what you think about this new Barcelona blueprint. Are they building something special, or is it too early to tell? If you're as obsessed with breaking down the beautiful game as we are, hit that subscribe button. We've got deep dives coming on the tactical revolutions happening across Europe's top clubs. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's next. Because in football, just like in life, sometimes the best stories aren't about where you've been, they're about where you're heading.